Hello, how are you? My name is Selena Ella Moon, and I am the author of Elemental Wellness 24 Guided Meditations Inspired by the Elements. I am an NLP master practitioner. I love visualizing. I love creating. I love coming up with new ideas to heal. I've been a healer for the last 11 years officially, unofficially since I was a kid, like many of you, I am sure. And really today, I wanted to get into one of the journeys that I wrote about in my book to help you to connect deeper to your purity and to your innocence. Really, this is a journey that I want to speak to you about if you are feeling like you have done things in your past that you are still feeling guilty about, or if you have certain thoughts about your past that you're being hard on yourself for. If you're somebody that doesn't really tolerate mistakes within yourself, or you hold a lot of judgment towards yourself over certain things, this is really going to help you. And the reason this is going to help you is because it's a purifying experience we're going to talk about in just a second. But really, I want to take a moment here to acknowledge that in my last decade of working with my clients, I've noticed that the ones who feel the worst about themselves were often brought up in families that were very harsh and very critical about the same things that they themselves are now critical of themselves for, okay? So if your family was like really judgmental about what you eat and how you eat, then you're probably gonna have those same thoughts about the way that you eat for the rest of your life. If your family's really critical about your physical body in some way, then you're gonna start to feel really critical about those parts of your body as you get older, okay? But also, if you say you failed a test, or say you were supposed to be number one at something and you came in second or third, and your family was disappointed about that, or you just felt really disappointed in yourself, it's like to feel that horrid experience within yourself that there's something brutally wrong with you, or that you're a bad person. I mean, maybe you stole something, maybe you lied about something, maybe you cheated about something, maybe you betrayed somebody, maybe you participated in something that was manipulative, maybe you were violent, right? Maybe you were aggressive, okay? That's all part of being a human being, okay? Is that being a moral and right human being? No, but I don't believe that we need to live our lives in accordance with morality. I believe we need to live our lives in accordance with spirituality. And the difference is that when you live your life in accordance with morality, it's because you're doing something that you should do. But when you're in touch with your spirituality, you don't live based on shoulds anymore. You live based on your heart and your higher awareness. So on the surface, people who are acting good and doing good in the world might look like they're very much, moral beings. They might actually be more spiritual beings, but they appear to be moral, right? Or vice versa. And the reason is because it's not about what we do, it's why we do it, okay? So when we come back to the why of why we did something, usually there's a reason that we did a particular thing. Maybe we saw it somewhere, or maybe we were encouraged to go into the darkness, where maybe it's from other lifetimes, patterns that have just built up. There's many, many reasons why we choose to go and ignore the light and ignore that sense of love and connection and depth and purity that we all actually organically have within us. And so the reason I created this particular journey is because I feel like we need to forgive ourselves and we need to return to innocence. And that return to innocence doesn't happen when other people forgive us. We cannot rely on the world to prove our innocence. We have to return to innocence within ourselves, okay? And when you return to innocence within yourself, then the world actually stops testing you on the parts of yourself that feels guilty. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I've noticed. So the Purifying Waterfall is essentially a space where you get to just enjoy what it feels like to have all that you've been through and all the things that you've done that maybe you feel you had done incorrectly, or you did something bad, the guilt, the consciousness that you carry with that, and you get to bring that into this beautiful waterfall. And then you imagine yourself underneath this waterfall, and there's just all this beautiful water just pouring over your body, and it's just cleansing you, and it's just putting you back into a complete sense of innocence. It's taking away all that guilt. It's removing all the stories and the judgments that you have about yourself, that you're this bad person because you do this and you deserve to be punished and right? Instead, you just get to remember who you are at your core. And once you have that purifying experience, it's like your own sort of spiritual baptism. And you get to go back to you, and you get to go back to God within you, and you get to remember that, yes, okay, maybe you've made mistakes, you've made some poor choices in the past, but that doesn't make you a bad person for the rest of your life. And when you come out of this purifying waterfall, you can start to see yourself as more of like a child, right? Like the innocence of a child. It's like children make mistakes all the time, but then they learn, right? And then they grow. And that's what your job is to do, is to just learn and to grow. Your job is not to be perfect, because you are that child, and you will continue to be that child for the rest of your life, no matter how old you get, because you are always going to be a child of the divine, okay? And so this whole journey is here to support you in creating this visualization, this anchor, to be able to redo this in your imagination over and over again, so that eventually you can stop having such harsh conversations with yourself. You can stop mistrusting yourself. You can stop feeling bad for everything that you did in the past. I don't care how bad the crime was. What I care is that, were you able to find your heart, and were you able to find purity within you and to forgive yourself? And of course, asking forgiveness to others. But sometimes you cannot rely on them forgiving you in order to forgive yourself, okay? And that's all I'm saying here. So if this resonates with you, if you're ready to walk into this purifying waterfall, you want to go on this journey, please get my book. It's on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description box below. Check it out and have a purifying experience. I can't wait to hear about it. Please share in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hello, and thank you so much for watching my Elemental Wellness channel. If you do end up purchasing the hard copy of my book, Elemental Wellness, on Amazon, please send me a picture with you holding the book so I can see who you are and that you have the book through my email, and I will gift you the audiobook. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye.